Why is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
All right, so reluctant executive producer Sandy gave you, okay, this is a painting. Oh, it's a very nice painting of Captain.
Yes.
And it looks so like, very professionally done.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great rendering of him.
Yes.
I don't know what room he's in.
Well, it's not, it's a faux room, but in the room.
Okay, in the room. And it looks like just a very nice picture of your dog until you kind of look up and notice that there's a mirrored ball in the corner of the
Yes.
picture.
Which she did before I started saying that I was going to take Harry Styles' album and make it my mantra. She just knew.
There you go.
So I feel I have to put this and then Aunt Julie's picture of Captain on the wall and then put the celebrity dogs around them.
That's a very good idea.
But I'm wondering if I put it in the nook and then move the raconteurs elsewhere. Or if I do it on the wall that's been waiting for
That.
something, and I have the album that Randy started it all because Randy did the album of Captain
Oh, that's
years
right.
ago.
Yes.
So, but it might be
That's
kind of fun
perfect.
to have all the rock stars and then have the Captain. It's
Yeah.
great, and it kind of like it's so different than the one that Aunt Julie did, and they're both equally amazing in different
Yeah.
ways.
And the mirror ball is so subtle. Like it takes you a
I
second.
know. I love it so much. It's so perfect. I was
That's
so happy when I
that's
saw it.
that's very, very nice.
It brightened my day.
This is Why, with your hosts, Heidi Hedquist and Luke Poling.
I want to get into the history of the sport, where this came from. But first off, the current male adult world champion is named Paul Ryan. Is it the former Speaker of the House or a different one?
No. I'm trying to figure out like where Paul was because we've done so many shows and so many races. So no, he's not the Speaker of the House.
Okay, thank you.
Clarify that one.
Perfect.
But he's invited though. We'll invite Mr. Ryan if he wants to come out and try it out.
I mean, we have a battle of the Paul Ryans. I mean, that would be
Oh my
amazing.
God, that'd be great.
Right?
Get Meg Ryan in there too. Just people with the last
Right.
name Ryan.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, why not? Or a battle of the Ryans.
Yeah.
You know.
So where does this come from? How did this all start?
Yeah, actually, it started out as somewhat of a challenge. I started off my career in game shows. Coming out of college, I worked with Family Feud and Sail the Century and Scrabble and all those type of game shows. So I kind of got a very good background on pitching game shows, being involved in pitches, being involved in the office work, the game show, the studio work, the production, all of that at a very young age. And it's just kind of crazy how it came full circle back in 2019. So I'm an independent producer, packager, on-air talent for ESPN since 1994. Put the very first skateboard contest on ESPN2, which kind of segued into my heavy involvement with the X Games. I was the lead announcer producer for all the skateboard, BMX, did a lot of different events within the Winter X Games, Summer X Games, hosted the X Games in Asia. So all of that kind of circumvented when I was on a call with ESPN in Bristol about the Ocho programming block. Like, what other sports can we bring to the Ocho programming block, which is in August? It's based out of the movie Dodgeball, which they say, welcome to ESPN Ocho, ESPN 8, right? So
If it's almost a sport, it's on ESPN. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Some marketing genius decided, hey, let's take this a step further. So 2019, they had been telling me, Paul, we've been trying to get this done for years. You know, I took a look at it, and I had been a professional skateboarder in the past. I built a lot of ramps. So I'm like, wait a minute, let me take a look at these stairs. And you know, I won't take full credit. It was originated in Japan. I saw that version. Very good friend of mine is Japanese. And he says, Paul, they don't call it slippery stairs in Japan. They call it something else. And so I took it, no pun intended, but maybe so, a step further, right? So
Hmm.
there's no staircase like it in the world. It's very different. It's super fun. But to answer your question, in 2019 it was our first show, and we packaged that show, sent it off to ESPN in a package format, meaning that we recorded it earlier. It was edited and then put on TV. And I was actually in Lake Havasu with my family on the lake. We watched the show and then went back out on the lake. And then not too far after that, ESPN called me and said, "Paul, do you see what's happening with this?" And I go, "No, actually, my son's getting on a wakeboard right now. What's going on?" And they said, "This thing's blowing up. Can you give us 2 more episodes?" And I said, "Sure." So we did 2 more episodes out in Newport Beach, California. And then those three shows started to air in heavy rotation on ESPN and, of course, social media. COVID hit, and then had a little bit of stalemate there. 4 years, it was brought back to Rock Hill, South Carolina, where all the Ocho programming originated from for 3 years out of Rock Hill, South Carolina. And so we became the premier Ocho event, prime time on ESPN Live, and then a lot of Sports Center hits. We had a magical live TV moment this past summer in Orlando with Sports Center, which was really cool. So it has really taken off. It's something that it's super special. We have some major announcements coming soon. I wish I could tell you right now. They're really cool. But I can tell you that we are going to Knoxville May 17th, which is going to be really cool. Just had an hour talk with them. We'll be back in Orlando. We are talking to several destinations across the U.S. and internationally. So that's kind of the 30,000-foot level. There's a lot of stuff in between, but that's kind of gives you the background of where we started and where we are now.
So I want to get to all the in between, but I want to go back just really quickly because I'm dying to know. Did you always, like when you went off to college, did you know that your path was going to be, I want to go into game shows, I want to go then like skateboard and do all this really fun stuff my whole life? Like, was that your intent?
I've never been asked that question specifically that way. And I often reflect when I was growing up, I was a big sports guy. I'm vertically challenged, so I had challenges there. But to answer your question, I always wanted to be outside. I said I want to have an outside job. I want to be, being able to do something. So I know that God has a plan, and but you have to make it happen, right?
Right.
So I decided that I did want to be in sports. I created my own sports show. I left out a huge gap in my how I really got involved in TV, and I started a sports show here in Southern California based on extreme alternative sports. I was a high school wrestler, so I combined the stick and ball sports, and it blew up. And that's how I eventually got on ESPN, because they saw the show. We love this show. So to answer your question, it was kind of in the back of my mind. But the game show thing came full circle, and it's still prevalent right now. Like, oh, how can I do this? How can I make this twist here? And we got some pretty cool things that are going to attract a lot of eyeballs to Slippery Stairs.
That's awesome.
So for folks who haven't seen this, how high is the staircase?
Yeah, it's I like to say, and I said this in a meeting recently with ESPN. I said it's visually loud, meaning that you see it as whoop, boom, there it is, right? And everything looks bigger on TV, but it is bigger in person. Many of the contestants, we're going to put together an editing melt on just interviews and reactions from our contestants, because people think they can just get there and run up the stairs, but they can't. It's to answer your question, it's only 16 feet high, but it's vertically challenging in different ways. I won't give the secret sauce away, but it looks higher than it is. But when you're up there, I've been up there, thousands and thousands of times on every inch of the stairs. It's pretty intimidating looking down. I mean, it's pretty daunting.
And so basically, it's simply a race to go from the bottom of the stairs to the top. Whoever gets to the top rings a bell, and that stops the clock. Of course, the stairs are coated with something, and then there are two people up at the top with fancy, very big squirt guns, for lack of a better term,
Right.
squirting at the contestants, and then they start throwing balls at them. How did anybody agree to be the guinea pig for this?
Well, you know what? It's so
Oh, I
fun.
totally be the guinea pig.
Well, you would, but I mean, like a
Yeah.
normal person
And you're
that had trauma.
you're more than welcome to come out and try it. It's so fun. I have a very smart young man that I'm also an adjunct professor and taught in high school for 10, 12 years, and I have a very smart young man that actually just got a really great job outside of what he does with me. But his name is Michael, and I said, Michael, I need to figure out the lubrication. We need to figure this out. So I was the first guinea pig on the doorsteps of my house, and
love it.
with the vinyl that we have. I know one of your questions is going to be, so I'll foreshadow it. The lubrication is something, and I've mentioned this on TV, is if you go to your CVS store and you go down the pleasure aisle and you look at some ingredients, it's not what you can buy on the shelf. It's what we personally mix. And I will tell you, your skin feels pretty good for about 3 or 4 days after you're done with the stairs.
I love it. That's
No
awesome.
Thousand Island.
Gross.
Well, anyway,
I mean, that's great. Like, that's a whole separate marketing arm, right? You start branding
Yeah.
it.
how many rounds are there to get to the World Championships? And what does the winner get? Their own bell?
So that's so funny. I should grab it. I have the original bell right behind me. So
Awesome.
I appreciate you've really done your homework on the competition format. I'm gonna throw you a curveball.
There
That's all.
isn't a
That's all.
controversy.
That the format's changing, and I'll be able to tell you that we're doubling the contestants. I will tell you that.
Ooh.
And the beauty of slippery stairs is the climb to the top, right? You mentioned the balls, and you can pull people down with you.
Yes, I
And
love that.
everybody gets really, when they get to the top, they're like, okay, now, because there's only one way down. You can't climb a ladder down.
No,
You got to
take the
go
stairs. Yeah.
down. Yeah.
Right.
So I will tell you, you're going to be the first people that I tell outside of our little team is that we're adding a relay element to slippery stairs where you're going to be partnered with a partner. And the goal is you got to go up and then you have to come back down and then you have to tag your teammate
That's
and then
awesome.
he or she has to go up to be the winner. So what that's going to cause is going to cause a lot more excitement on the stairs. And then on the way down, you can take out as many people as you want.
Yeah,
That's
just bowling
so
pin them
fun.
all.
Yes.
So hold on, guys, because it's going to be a wild ride, and we're so excited so we're doubling the contestants. So we have normally 6 little boys and 6 little girls, 7 to 12, and then 6 adults and 12 adults, 6 females and 6 males, 18 and over. And so we're opening that up to twice as many. And then we're going to work the teenage division in as well, because we just have so many requests. It's one of those things, you have just so many requests, and it's just a blast. I edit the shows as well, and I'm like, I've been there, and I'm laughing my ass off editing. I go, wait a minute, I was there.
That's
So-
awesome.
Well,
So it's
the-
kind of like you guys, you know what the
Yeah.
editing process is.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting because it's that thing, George Plimpton talked about everybody wanted to come out of the stands and you think you can quarterback, you think you can play goalie. This is a sport where you sit there and go, I could do this. And you could, maybe not well, but you could very much suit up and do this. Are they going to be mixed relays or just male, female?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yes, there is, and that's really cool to have that. We're really cognizant. I want to stress that I'm very cognizant of safety. The stairs are the most we've had is maybe.
Paul, wait a second. It's called slippery stairs, and you're concerned about safety.
Is that an oxymoron?
I mean, I just think it's against your brand, isn't it? Throw it on some
Yeah, kind of,
sand
right?
and yeah.
But
But-
if you knew the hoops I have to jump through with cities and stuff,
Yeah.
Just permitting and contestant waivers and all certificates of insurance, it gets kind of entertaining.
Oh, your insurance agent must love you.
Yeah, I just sent out that email right before I got on the call.
So people are wearing helmets for obvious reasons. Is there any other padding that people are wearing?
Yeah, we do supply elbow pads and knee pads.
Okay.
And then the suits are like a Lycra suit, so they can wear undergarments that they feel comfortable in. And then we do a really good job of padding the stairs, and we've learned by trial and error on that, because I've been down them and I know what point you get launched, because there is a point where you get launched, and we tweak that as we go, and we do make the stairs a little bit different each and every year. Like we're going to be going to Saudi Arabia to do slippery stairs.
Amazing.
And I think it's free reign. We have free reign to kind of jack it up a little bit. It'll probably be quite a bit higher as well. So there's different aspects of what we can do, but yeah, you are right. It's oxymoron if I'm talking about safety.
But don't forget, when you're done, you've had this amazing like full body massage lube on you, so you're all soft and supple and exfoliated, so it all evens out.
Yeah, and then the parents can slide around afterwards, and who knows, maybe have another kid.
See? Right?
Another competitor. This is
out. Right, you become like a whole Von Trapp family, slippery stair family.
How close have you gotten to, let's just put this on a boat and take it into international waters, because I can't be bound by countries and their legalities. Have you thought about that?
About legalities?
About going into international waters so you don't have to deal with the legalities of it.
That's a great question, and that's a serious question, to be honest with you. So, we're basically in talks with, Asia, obviously, Saudi Arabia, Latin America, different areas. You'd be surprised, because I've done events all over the world, and I should not be here talking to you, because I've probably almost died at least 6 times doing some crazy stuff. Recently in the Philippines, where I should have fallen out of the back of a car filming a race that we were doing. But so it depends on where you go on what you can get away with. We know the more Western they are acclimated to, you're gonna see that there's a little bit more restrictions. Like I know for sure that there's parts of Asia that they'll do whatever you want, and then there's parts of like, hey, we're watching you guys, make sure you do this right. So it's any event. I've done plenty of crazy gnarly events where you've had no supervision. You just you go and do it, and you say your prayers, and
your morality is the only judge.
Yeah. So, but I think that you ask a great question, because we're so visible now, and just in the last 8 months, we've gotten 1.4 billion views on YouTube through our partnerships, and so I know we're out there, and that's just that we know of domestically. We know that there's international views that we're not counting. So sorry for being so serious, but yeah, I guess you kind of look at that.
No, but you need to be serious, and honestly, it shows that although it is all fun and games, you do take it seriously, and we're not trying to be serious either, but people do need to know that, and you're not trying to kill everybody on the stage. We want everyone to know you're not trying to murder them. Well, until Luke and I get there, and then that's our fault, because we're just going to murder each other before we even get out of the gate. That's one of the things that's really interesting about it, though. When you watch it, it's so amazing, because the hype is so there, and everyone's so excited to go. And then the moment when they leave, when they first get on the stairs, is the most hilarious moment, because it all slows to a halt because they can't move. And then once they get their momentum going, then it all gets going again, because no one, no matter what, realizes how slippery it actually is. That first step is so funny to me.
Thank you for saying that. I didn't answer your question at full. You asked about the championship, that type of thing. Mm-hmm. So for instance, we're doing a college tour. So the goal would be to visit like 6 colleges around the country, and then take those champions, those individual champions, with us to like a championship that might take place in Las Vegas or in Puerto Rico, or another part of the United States during the December, January time frame. So we would love to be able to launch this championship and hold it on like New Year's Eve, where we have this amazing thing, and then it goes off on New Year's Eve, where Slippery Stairs brings in the new year. So on that type of thing, that's a goal of ours, and whether it be Big Ten, SEC, that
Ivy, sure,
the Ivy League, whatever it might be. It's just getting people into our world with that. The college campuses, spring break, that type of stuff is definitely on the radar. And then the individual destinations that we want to go to. Our goal is to visit as many destinations as we can. And we make a video postcard. Like when we go to Knoxville, it's going to be really cool because it's going to look like Knoxville. The stairs are going to look like Knoxville. And we're going to embrace the commercialism around their festival that they're having with us on May 17th. So, and I apologize to answer your question first, but yeah, there will be a form of a championship.
And you got the Sun Sphere there. You can go up in the Sun Sphere and look down the Slippery Stairs.
Oh,
perfect.
Thank you.
So you're so pro Slippery Stairs, and you are a great, I don't want to say advertiser, but advocate for people trying to climb something they probably should not climb. How often do you sit back and realize you are putting so much energy and brain power that all of this could be used for good, and you are putting it towards something as ridiculous as simply Slippery Stairs?
That's a fantastic way of looking at it.
You could be curing cancer, but here you're just throwing people downstairs. Yeah.
I think that you bring up a really good point, because I know that we're bringing so much joy to people. I remember in Ocean City, Maryland, we were right next to the boardwalk, and so I post announce the races, meaning I will call the races right here. We'll edit it, and then I have to get the show down to 23 minutes and 45 seconds for a half-hour show. Twice as long as that for an hour show. But I remember sitting back, it was a beautiful day in Ocean City, Maryland, and I was just watching the people watch Slippery Stairs. And I'm getting goosebumps telling you this, because it did bring a lot of joy to me. I'm like, this is so cool that I can I'm not a comedian, I can't tell jokes, but man, I can put this up and have so much joy for these people passing by. They might have heard about us. They might have just been walking down the boardwalk to get an ice cream, and they came upon us, and they stopped for an hour and they watched this thing. And it's one of those things where you cannot take your eyes off of it. You just you look away, something crazy happens. It's like the last second of a football game. Don't look away, you're going to miss it, right?
For the entire time.
Yeah. For the entire time. And that's so cool, And then we just get the best interviews afterwards. They're just the coolest stuff that you get, and the kids just surprise the hell out of you, what they say and what they do, and it's just, and there's a lot of camaraderie to what we do, because they buy into it. They really buy into, hey, this is a sports game show, it's entertainment, let's be entertaining.
Yeah, no, they've seen some stuff by the time they get back down to the bottom of those stairs. Who are the hardest competitors? Are the kids just as vicious as the adults when it comes to pulling and, trying to step on people's hands to get up to the top?
Yeah, we do this funny thing. We'll pick people who we think's going to win. And I've gotten it wrong plenty of times, because I'm like, that guy's not going to win, And I'm like, holy shit, he won. How did he do that? And then, so to answer your question, the kids are lighter and they're faster. And so when they go up the stairs, they're like a cat, right? But they are also vicious. They know that. I tell them before they race, I say, look, you guys are here for TV, you love it, it's not about winning, because we don't always give the most airtime to the winner. We might give, a lot more airtime to the person going up and bringing people down with them. That's where it's real exciting. So they really buy into that. I would tell you, you have to be somewhat of an athlete to do this. It's definitely challenging. So I think the more you see this competitiveness come out, the women are really get after it. They're nasty to each other.
I totally believe that.
Yeah, definitely. Having seen every iteration of Slippery Stairs, is there some sort of, not secret, because obviously everyone's got their own method, but that you have found is good to keep in the back of your mind as you're trying to ascend these stairs?
Yes.
Because you said the kids, points of contact.
I learned this from a contestant, and I watched it back a couple times. There was these three people going up, and when they're going up, they're going to try to take out each other. So this one girl in the co-ed, she was smart because she just watched these two guys go at it, and she crossed over and went and won. And I'm like, so she stayed out of trouble. So that was her theory. I'm going to stay out of trouble. I'm going to worry about myself and stay out of the trouble zone and get to the top. So I have found that that was a pretty good idea and a pretty good way of getting up to the stairs. People think on the sides that you can, hold on to something. You can't.
It's against the rules. Yeah.
And we don't want people standing up, because that's definitely trouble. But it just depends on that person, and that it depends on the competitors, who they are. That kind of tells us what the race is going to be, if that makes sense. Their personalities and their athletic skill.
For more information on Slippery Stairs, you can check out their website, slipperystairs.com, or Athletes in Motion Television, which is at aimsports.tv. And of course, they are on Instagram, where they are at The Slippery Stairs.
Nigel, is that you? Are you here, Nigel?